In Tennessee, about an hour west of Knoxville, is the Brushy Mountain, what's called the Brushy Mountain Development. Formerly the Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary. It was a state penitentiary which opened in 1895 and closed in 2009, and by all accounts was a pretty brutal prison, as they all are, but perhaps especially so. But before that, that area was the site of a year-long insurrectionary campaign by unionized miners who rose up against the coal industry and the state of Tennessee, and in particular the reliance of both on the convict lease system. And over the course of the year, they raided mines and burnt down stockades and freed black convict leases and sent them to Knoxville. And really sort of brought the state of Tennessee to the brink of crisis, such that the state became the first southern state to end the practice of convict leasing. So it was this incredible victory of struggle. But the state's response to that struggle was to enclose 9,000 acres and build Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary, and subsequently to force prisoners, now held within the walls of Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary, to mine coal for the state of Tennessee, in opening several mines just outside the grounds up in the mountains surrounding the prison, where prisoners would be forced to mine coal just about around the clock. Yep, I mean that's the history there, right? Is like hundreds of years of extraction and now incarceration.
Well, I'm going down the Mobile Road, bring women back by the wagon load, do man, well, I don't know, but I believe I will make my home in Jacksonville.
My name is Sarah Bryant. I was incarcerated as a child. Went to prison when I was 15 years old, and I did 10 years. I did 10 years on paper, and now I'm off parole, but I'm also a mother of 3. I ended up at CCA, which is a private prison. They kept me in solitary confinement until I was 18 years old. They were not set up to house juveniles. I believe I was one of the first female juvenile offenders that they had received. And so with that being said, I got a shower maybe once a week. I never seen the outside unless it was through my window. I had a sand mattress that laid on a metal slate. And all I remember is the 4 walls, just the 4 walls. The color of them, the concrete floor, the metal toilet. And I still remember the 4 walls. I still have nightmares about it. I still wake up in the middle of the night screaming. My body seizing, locking up. I don't see anything that was beneficial about it. After my first year, I had complained so much to the guards that one of them was kind enough to go and get me time in, it's called a rec cube, and it had a fence around it and a wall around the fence, which I didn't understand why it had both. And then it had a shelter on top, and I could see the light go around in a little crack. It had a little space in it, and I could see the light. So no trees, no sun, no moon, no stars, no nothing. Just that little crack of light. So, and they did that for me maybe once a week as well, depending on how many staff they had.
I think it definitely says that there's an acceptance of the person's worthlessness that is very inhumane. Like there's a place where when we as a society, as a systematic view and have a systematic purpose that allows us to discard people's humanity and their lives in a way that it can not only be profited off of, but there's no regard for the humanity of an individual.
Where the warden stands tall as he walks down the hall, puts all our lives on a shelf, holding the keys to our misery. How does he live with himself?
And now I understand why recidivism is so high. I understand why, people come out here and it's like, what do I have? What can I get? Nothing. Who's gonna help? Nothing. I'm trying to do the best I can. I'm trying to be what I can be. I'm trying to give back. I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to do. But it's like being submerged and tied down with a rock. You're just under that water drowning and drowning and drowning and drowning. And you keep knocking at doors and nobody wants to open. Nobody. No, it's not good for the economy.
How does the warden sleep at night after the long day's through?
I'm tired of the poor being targeted because we're poor, I'm supposed to be in a Christian area. Where are you? And why aren't you listening? And why aren't you fighting for your people? These are your people that are locked up. Your brothers and husbands and nephews.
On his chest. When the warden goes home to his house made of stone, how does he get any rest? How does the warden sleep at night after the long day's through? Does he toss and turn? Does his conscience burn? Is he a prisoner too?